Uh-oh.
In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating and using this spot carpet steam cleaner. This is from Beisty. They sent me this, so thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. Now, what I've done is I've put this on the floor with a tape measure in centimeters, so you can see how wide this unit is. It's actually quite small and compact, which is really good. I've also put a tennis ball for reference, so you can see how rough the size of this thing is. Now, it comes with two compartments. You've got a clean water compartment, which holds 2 liters, and then you've got a dirty water compartment, which holds 750 mils, which is the one I've just taken off on the right. Now, it comes with 4 different settings, which is cold, hot, steam, and boost. And what it does is that cleaning pipe that you can see, that ribbed pipe that goes around the back of the unit, that uses the steam to suck up the contents, whatever's been messed, and you can also just use it as a vacuum on the wet contents, which will suck it into the pipe as well. Now, that pipe runs around the base of the unit, as you'll see now, and it tucks in quite nicely into a little holder around the base, so it keeps it nice and tidy. And then the power cable has also got its own little holder section in the front, where you can wrap it up nicely so the cable's not lying all over the place. So it's really compact, it's nice and small, and you can put it away in a cupboard or wherever you want, so no worry about space problems and that. So what I'll do is I'll set it up now, and then what we can do is see how it steams and cleans. Before we start, we need to take off the clean water compartment. So what we do is take that off, turn it upside down, take off the valve, which has also got a bit of a filter on it, so no debris can get stuck inside there. And then we just fill that up with some water, and then we'll seal it up and put it back onto the unit. So that then slides into the unit like so, and you'll see there's the seal underneath, so that makes sure that the water goes through that and into the unit itself and through the pipe and everything. So that's now secure and ready to go. And then what we'll do is we will then start plugging it in, so you can see how it's plugged in and where you need to turn it on underneath. So we'll turn on the plug in the wall, and then underneath the unit where the pipe wraps around, you'll see there's a power on switch, so make sure that's on, and then the lights on the top will start blinking. The on off switch will start blinking, which means it's got power, and when you press the on button, all other 4 lights will come on for the other 4 modes, and when you're ready, you just press the mode that you want to use. Haven't we all done this before? We spill our coffee on the carpet or on our chair or couch or bed or whatever that might be where you're drinking. You then dab up the contents, whatever's left, and then what do you do after that? You get a stain on the carpet. Now what I've done is I've turned this on, so you'll hear how loud it is. I'll enable the sound so you can hear how loud it is. And the suction front piece where you see it's clear, that needs to face down so it sucks the carpet properly. So you saw the first few moments it didn't suck. Let's hear the noise. So it's fairly loud. It's obviously like a vacuum steam cleaner, so it's going to be loud. It's not going to be silent. And you need to make sure that you aim it at that angle I've got it now, which will then suck up all the mess that it has made. Now I'm cleaning now with the brush, and you can see it's actually lifting the carpet a bit and getting that mixture in, and the water is now clear. So that's what it looks like with the brush underneath, and that little clear plastic piece is where it sucks up the contents. So it's not going to suck up large pieces of stones or gravel or cereal or things like that, only really small stuff. So now I'm getting a bit more adventurous with some tomato sauce, and I'm rubbing it in a bit, which isn't really great to do on a carpet, and I think we're going to have a bit of an issue getting this out. So what we'll do is we'll get that, we'll wipe it, we'll think, oh, we've wiped it up and that should help, which actually makes it worse, pressing it into the carpet. And then I get the cleaner and I put it on the steam setting, and I switch it on, and what you can do is you press the purple button underneath, which would then spray some steam down. But what I'm doing first is just trying to suck up the excess liquid from the tomato sauce, and as you can see there, it is pulling that in quite nicely, and it's got a bit of water there. So what I'll do now is I'm going to start spraying some of the steam. Now I've also got the brush going as well, which is also moving the carpet, as you can see, and shifting it around which probably isn't the best thing to do because you're then pressing it in. But now we start steaming and sucking as well, and you can see it's picking up virtually all of that tomato sauce that has been messed onto the carpet. So from what I'm doing already, I'm actually quite impressed with this. Now the thing is, you can take that brush off and just have the sucking motion,
Sure.
which will then pull that all out for you, and the brush will obviously help with pushing the carpet left and right, up and down, whatever it might be doing, just to help get that contents out that's been messed. So overall that all worked well. You can take the brush off like I'm showing now and just have the steamer and the suction, which also works quite nicely, and I'll show you some of the steam now. So that's how the steam comes out. Just be careful not to burn your hands. And it does make the carpet quite wet if you keep steaming it quite a lot. So just remember that. It will make the carpet quite wet, which you need to then allow to dry. But overall, that worked really well. Now I wanted to give it a bit more of a challenge. So the carpet is wet, where you can see the coffee soaking in, and on the left it's not soaking in as much. So I put a bit more down. I wanted to see how well this system would suck it up, and I wanted to show you what it looks like in that front piece that does suck it up, and then I'll show you the dirty water tank on what the contents looks like once that's been sucked up. So we put on the steam function again, and we'll start sucking up the excess coffee on the top. As you can see, it's pulling it through that clear piece on the front, which is doing a great job. And then we get to the section where I was cleaning up the tomato sauce and everything earlier, where it was wet, and you can see that sucking up quite a lot of liquid there, and the liquid still got that coffee look to it, so it's not quite clean yet. And you just keep going over this patch that's been messed on, and you'll see the water gets quite clear. So I poured some more down because I want to show you what this filter looks like when it gets sucked through, and that's all the dirty water that's getting sucked up. Then the suction, you can see here, it's pretty strong. It's sucking on a clean surface, so you can do this on a hard kitchen floor and a hard surface as well. And look how nicely that sucks it up. It's really good. So I wanted to demonstrate how that worked on a hard surface. So you can clean up liquids as well and steam the floor at the same time, and get rid of any bacteria or whatever there might be on the floor if you want to have a nice steam clean. So that worked really well. I was quite impressed with that, so I thought I'd pour some more down, and we'll suck that up. That was actually quite satisfying, so I just kept doing that for a bit, and I eventually sucked up a whole cup of coffee, so that was fun. And here we have the dirty water tank. So that's a mixture of coffee and tomato sauce.
Nice.
So not too much mixed in there, but you can see how dirty that is. So that's quite impressive of what it pulled out of the carpet when I started sucking it out. So then I wanted to get some mud. So let's say someone walks in with some mud on their boots, like so, and they trample in with a bit of mud. So this is a bit more dry mud, so you'll see what I mean about the particles not being able to be sucked up. So it's not a vacuum cleaner, but I thought I'd do that and put some mud on the floor, and then someone would walk over that as well and press that in, so the smaller pieces do then get stuck into the carpet. And then what I did was I took the cleaner itself again on the steam function, because that worked quite nicely, and I then started to clean up the excess mud that was there. Now it was more of a drier mud, and you'll see it does do quite a good job picking up the excess bits from that, and it leaves behind obviously the pieces that were pressed into the floor, and it doesn't pick up any of the stones because they don't fit through that little plastic gap where the liquids and everything would go up. But it did a pretty good job picking up the finer granules of the mud, so that was quite good. Then I made more mud, and I made it really wet and mushy, and then pressed it into the carpet with some shoes, and you'll see that's quite wet there. It's not as granular and dry as the previous mud, so I thought I'd push that into the carpet, which is quite a lot of mud there, and it is quite pushed into that type of carpet as well. This carpet's very hard, and it's also quite hard to clean, so you can see I'm doing the excess on the top, and you'll see it gets most of it off. Then I start steaming, and I carry on going, and it actually picks up a lot of the mud that was on there. As you can see, that carpet's pretty clean. You can see the water that's now coming up is clear, so that's picked up all the mud that was on the carpet. So that's pretty impressive. It's actually a really cool little cleaner. I'm quite impressed with it, and yeah, it's working as it should, so that was good. Then what I did was I took the dirty filter off. As you can see, the dirty water compartment, and that's what it looks like. And it picked up all of that just from that clean over there. So that's quite a lot. Then to empty it out, what you do is you take the top of the lid off by pressing the handle down like so. So you take it over the opposite side and press it down there. So that would unclick it. Once you move the handle down, then you can lift the lid off and you can give it a nice good clean. So you just wash it out with some clean water, and that would then sort that out with the dirty water compartment. There are instructions how to clean the unit itself, so you can clean the pipe and everything, which I'll show you how to do later. But with regards to the dirty water compartment and the clean water and the pipes internally within the system, they do tell you how to do that, and that's on the side of the unit itself. So over here you can see the pipe is quite dirty inside. So what they've given you is a cleaning connection, which you place that on, and then what you do is you press the steam button, which shoots through the small thin piece there at the top that I'm pointing at, and that will then come into that compartment, and that will then suck the water through to clear the pipe. So that's what I did now, and you can see the water shooting through the pipe over there and clearing it out, and that's me putting the pipe with the steam inside. So that's what it does. Cold water works best, or the hot water, so you can push it through, and then it goes through the pipe and clears out all the debris that you've just cleaned up with the mud and the coffee and the tomato sauce or whatever that might be, and it makes the pipe nice and clean for the next use, so it keeps everything nice and clean for you. So that cleaning part of the system is actually really good, and that worked really well. I looked at the pipe from front to back, and all the little indentations were cleared out. There was no particles or anything left in there. So I was quite impressed with that cleaning of the system itself, which was really good. Now what I did was I did this after cleaning out the dirty water tank, and the only dirt that was in the machine was in the pipe itself. So what I do next is I take the dirty water compartment off, and you'll actually see how dirty that pipe was with all the debris that was left inside there. It was actually quite a lot. So you can see over here, that was just from inside the machine within the pipe and that. So that's quite a lot of dirty water that's within there. So make sure you clean the unit and keep it in its tip-top cleaning condition. And when you've finished using it, take the clean water compartment off, take the seal off at the bottom, empty out the water like so, place the seal back on with the little filter, and then that's all done for the clean water compartment. So that's keeping that empty for its next use. And then you can clean all the other parts of the unit itself just to make sure that it's all nice and clean for the next time you use it. So everything clips off, and you can see it's easy to clean. You just run some cold water over the unit, give it a bit of a rub, and all the parts are then nice and clean. And then once you've finished, you just put them out to dry, and once all of them are dry, you can pack it away for your next use when someone spills something or tramples on a bunch of mud through the house. So I just want to say thanks to Beisty for sending me this unit again, and for testing it out and reviewing it for you guys. If you guys are looking for one, there's a link in the description. It works really well. It's, you know, it's not a soap cleaning machine or anything like that in a vacuum. It's a steam cleaner. It does the job. It works quite well, and yeah, it's I'm quite happy with it. I'll see you in my next review. Cheers.